The opinions expressed in the Brothers-in-Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.
Thanks for tuning in to Brothers-in-Law on Go Country 105. I'm Larry Mandel.
And I'm Rob Mandel.
And we've been trial attorneys here in Los Angeles for over 40 years.
On our show, we will discuss current events, talk about legal issues, and have some very entertaining guests stop by. So stay tuned every week for Brothers-in-Law right here on Go Country 105.
Welcome back to another episode of Brothers-in-Law Zoom Edition. I'm Larry Mandel.
I'm Rob Mandel.
And we want to give a big thank you to Debbie, the mortgage mom, for all her valuable information. Hey, we love following her.
Yes, we do. And before we welcome our wonderful guest today, Larry, we've been asking our listeners to call in and nominate a local person or group who's going above and beyond for the community in the coronavirus situation. And we've gotten this amazing response. And guess what, Larry?
What, Rob?
Producer Cam has a message that we've received and about from someone that we're going to call and thank properly. So let's take a listen to the message we've received.
Hey, my name is Jeff McCulty. I want to nominate Isaú Canales for the food pantry work they're doing at the Church on Pearl. They've been doing this for 12 years, but the need has tripled in the last 8 weeks, and they have done a great job of continuing to provide food services for anybody who has need. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Fantastic. And Producer Cam, do we have Isaú so we can thank him properly?
Yes, I have Isaú on the line. He is here with us on Brothers-in-Law.
Good morning,
right.
Isaú.
Good morning.
Isaú, how you doing?
Great. I am very, very thankful for this opportunity to talk to you guys.
Wonderful.
We want to thank you for all you're doing. It's a great cause.
Your buddy Jeff thinks very highly of you, and we can see why. So tell us, how many people are you feeding there?
Well, now it's more than 200 families.
Wow.
God bless you.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So guess what? Isaú, to thank you for what you've been doing for our community, we're going to send you $500 worth of gift certificates from Ralph's grocery store so you can continue to do the great work you're doing. How does that sound?
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want you to know that, I am just part of a team like you guys, and I'm not the one who's supposed to get the credit because it's a team. Just to give an example, I had 3 big boys, and they always involved with us helping. In fact, I just parked next to a street here because I came from a Silver for a company because they give us something. So I am here and there getting things for the community, getting things for people, for family. So my kids and my wife and everybody is involved to help the community.
Wonderful. Well, our thanks to all of you, Isaú. And again, thank you for doing what you're doing.
I just appreciate it, and thank you guys to recognize. I know there's a lot of people out there that they are, investing their lives and their energy and to help people, and I am very grateful. I really, I don't know what to say, but it's just, it's a great motivation because I do what I do is not expecting nothing because I receive so much that I.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. You have a great day and keep it up.
Thank you.
We'll see you, Isaú.
All right. Thank you.
Well, summertime is, time for vacation and warm nights, barbecues, and children going to summer camp. Beaches are full, but, this summer is going to be different, isn't it?
That's
Unfortunately, summer 2020 will be spent combating this, terrible, deadly virus.
Yeah, and the graduates, the kids who are all graduating in high school and college, who've been looking forward to celebrating, they don't have that opportunity this year to walk down the stage and have their mom and dad look on proudly. And birthday celebrations are put on hold, and even the Hollywood Bowl is closed. Isn't that crazy?
It is, Rob.
So we are lucky to have with us today to talk about the effects, the emotional and mental effects of this pandemic, a renowned trauma therapist and grief counselor, Audrey Hope. Welcome to the show, Audrey.
It's so great to be here, and I'm already inspired by what you're doing, and to hear that guy is just so beautiful.
Wasn't that something?
Really, the good things that people are doing, we need to hear more of it. So thank you so much. And I'm really happy to be here.
Well, thank you, Audrey. And Audrey, you hold a degree in Doctor of Divinity.
Yes, right? I work on the soul. And I work with trauma, and I come up with revolutionary ways to heal. It's really exciting to see the results of it. And, you speaking of these kids, I was thinking of when I was in school and all the things that I would be doing now. And it's a real loss. It really is. And, I think that what I want to say is that the grief needs to be honored. Sometimes people could feel guilty, right? They could say, the kids could feel guilty. Well, other people are suffering. I have no right to feel this way. But I want to say they do. And they really need to take stock of it and not deny it and not hide it and not say, I'm fine. It's fine. It isn't really fine.
That's right.
So you're talking about embracing it.
Embracing it for the truth of it, because grief is very real. Loss is very real. And the reason we suffer is because we try to hide it and we pretend we're okay. But I call it's like a toxic energy, that lives inside your body. Like imagine having a hurricane and trying to talk to it and go, it's okay, calm down, yeah. Or a lion, right? You can't do that. It's real. It's real energy, and you got to release it. You got to release it. You got to hit a pillow, walk it out, hold on to a tree, but it's got to be honored for the energy that it is.
Right.
And speaking of people who are experiencing this kind of loss and grief right now, we also have with us a graduating student. Her name is Guxci, and she's here to tell us about her feelings from missing out on her college graduation. Hello, Guxci.
Hello,
Hello.
Guxci.
Hi, Guxci.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start off. Let's talk about the kids who are missing out, like Guxci. Audrey, what would you say to them besides what you just told us about just, hitting that pillow and whatnot?
I would say that, my friend who survived the Holocaust said, bloom where you stand. You got to transform it, create something from it, right? Like make a musical, song or something, or get your friends together and all talk about it. Maybe make a video, but make it mean something, because, creation, a lot of people are home, but the good news, they're creating new things. So the word is creation. Do something with it and make it mean something. And then the bad will turn into the good.
The old silver lining, right?
The lemonade from the lemons. That's the way it has to be.
But these feelings the grief are warranted, right?
Oh, it's real. It will make you sick. And it'll bounce around. Sometimes you could say, I don't feel good. I can't sleep, right? And it'll disguise itself as other things. But it is good old-fashioned grief. And you have to know it's going to come in waves. And it's going to come up and down. You might be very moody. You might snap at people you wouldn't normally snap at. And you might not understand it, but understand it now. That's what it is. It's the resentment that you didn't have your time.
Right.
Hey, Gucci, is that how you're feeling?
Yeah, I didn't, like you said, I didn't even know that I was feeling that. But it didn't happen until finals week that it hit me. And I was just feeling weird and having a really hard time with finishing the semester. And I was so close. I mean, I got straight A's this semester, but I felt like I was failing for some reason. And I didn't want to participate in any of the graduation videos. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with my boss about just needing a day off because I just was not feeling there. And in the middle of the conversation, I just started crying. And I didn't know that I felt that way whatsoever. And then after that, it was just the floodgates of heaven opened and I was just crying for days. And yeah, so it was totally unexpected because in the beginning, it wasn't a joke, but we didn't know how serious it was going to be. So there was jokes about it. We laughed about it. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought prepare and adjust. And that's what I was focusing on until the last week of school.
We're Larry and Rob Mandel, the brothers-in-law, here on Go Country 105. Do you have a legal issue you need help with? We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and send us a message. Then tune in on Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Go Country 105.
Do you need help feeding your family right now? We all know that schools are closed, and some kids rely on free or reduced price meals at school. Visit fns.usda.gov/meals for kids to find a grab-and-go meal center near you. They are offering 2 grab-and-go meals for kids. Again, please visit www.fns.usda.gov/meals for kids. 4 is the number 4. And let's make sure all the kids are fed.
Is it that the disappointment is just a small part of the stress of being such a young person and coming into your own and having to face this gigantic monster like a pandemic? Is that what we're looking at here for you?
Yeah, for sure. Because I don't think sometimes we give ourselves enough credit, or at least for me, I'm just so focused on getting it done and getting it done right that I don't realize that I'm working hard and I'm accomplishing something huge. And when I got my associates, for some reason, they told me I wasn't walking with my class and I had to wait. And then a week before graduation, they told me I was walking with my class. So at that point, I didn't have an opportunity to invite my family. But I was like, it's okay because I'm going to get my bachelor's and that's an even bigger accomplishment and everyone will be there. And then here we are in quarantine.
Right on.
Yeah.
So what are they doing as an alternative for graduation?
So they made a video in which they gave you the opportunity to send in a video or a picture. So when they announced your name, your face would flash on the screen. And then as of now, it's just in the air of when we will actually be able to walk. So we still don't really know.
So Audrey, what are you telling graduates in this regard of how to cope with this new transition?
Well, I love what Gucci just said because she just described the whole truth about grief. You just went through exactly what I was saying. You say it's okay, and it really isn't. You see, and you got to take the time and let it sink into your body. So if I was working with the kids, I would say, where do you feel it? Where is it in your body? And really get in touch with it. And this way, then you can release it and get it out. But you can't just go on. You can't just go on. And it's all fine. No, you can't do it. That's why we have drug abuse.
Yeah, I think that I always choose to grab the positive side of every situation. And I think that's good. And sometimes I think it can also be bad because it can come in the form of suppression where I'm like just totally ignoring what I'm feeling instead of just accepting it. Like, yeah, this makes me feel a negative way. Let's feel this negative way for a second and then grab onto the positive.
I think that's so true. Absolutely. Yeah. Negative energy will actually affect the immune system too. It does. Do you know our cells vibrate differently when we're negative and when we're positive? That's kind of the science of it. And that you would take the time. Yes, absolutely.
And what do you mean by that? How do they vibrate differently?
Well, everything affects us. We're made of energy.
Right.
And what I do is a lot of looking at that level with energy. It's like sometimes we have doctors as patients now in Seasons Rehab. And they're exhausted. They are exhausted. and they don't take time to look at the energy. They're raised in med school. Well, work 16, 20 hours. Well, what about the energy of how this is affecting their bodies? So that's where the energy, looking at life through the energy. I don't know if you know anybody negative who's in your life. If you hang around with them too much, you could, if somebody's shaking them, you could actually get ill.
Yeah,
so
lucky for me.
I teach people to put a shield around them and to notice how they feel. You could also have a toxic parent. Your relatives can be really toxic, right? You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Going, yes. Well,
who doesn't have a toxic parent?
Well, that will affect your body, and you can actually get sick from toxic people. And looking at this virus, it is the fear of it that is so toxic. And I went deep on it and what it did to our bodies. Oh my God. And I was thinking of spiritual immunity. What could I do to help people get out of the fear of what it does? But the fear is what we have to watch out.
So, Audrey, on a practical level then, what can we do to address that kind of fear and negativity?
Okay, practical, which is my New York way. I am now releasing all negative energy from my body, okay? And actually put like a light in your head on the top of you, a sunlight, and allow it to go through your body and clear it out like you shower. And go, I'm now releasing all this negative energy. And feel, like if I asked you, Gucci, where do you feel the pain of the loss in your body?
I would say in my chest and my shoulders.
Okay, that's really good. You see, people know what they feel. And then we would bring in some light in there and then maybe give it a shape, see what's in there, and talk to it and say, I know you're in there.
Yeah.
And let's get down. Like, let's, what are you doing there? And talk to it, make it a cartoon, give it a mouth, and then get to know it. And then it will release. See, the light always helps the darkness.
Have you suffered or been injured by someone else's negligence? When you need a legal team that will stand up for what is right, won't give up the fight and obtain justice, call 818-886-6600. Mandel Trial Lawyers specializes in personal injury cases of all types. Whether it's a car accident, product or premises liability, dog bite, or a catastrophic injury, Mandel Trial Lawyers are there for you when the fight is worth it. Call now for your free consultation. 818-886-6600. Let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
Hey folks, do you want to volunteer to help out during the crisis? The Red Cross still needs volunteers in a variety of capacities during COVID-19. Volunteer opportunities include supporting blood donations and delivering much-needed services to your community. They even have a wide variety of remote work-from-home opportunities available. Go to redcross.org/volunteer to sign up. That's redcross.org/volunteer.
Hey, if you missed any part of this show or you just want to hear it again, go to brothersonlaw.com for all of our previous shows and all things Brothers on Law.
So, Audrey, do you also recommend meditation, yoga, things like that as part of releasing this negative energy?
Absolutely. But right now, I really recommend nature, walking. You know, are you guys getting out of the house and walking?
Yes.
you got to see the light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saying they're not.
Producer Cam is shaking her
light
head.
in your bodies. You can't be around these computers. You'll be depressed. It's too much, you know. So you got to get out and be in the sun. The sun, the vitamin D. It's vital for us right now to survive this.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So true.
And so what about someone who's not quite as self-aware as Gucci is? I mean, you know, she's pretty articulate and clearly a very self-aware, intelligent young woman. You know, but
I love this question.
Yeah. What about those folks?
I love this question so much.
They don't know what's going on. They just know they're feeling anger, you know, or frustration.
I love it because when I work with addicts, my husband would say it's a tough room. It's a tough crowd. I love it because everybody feels pain. And one of the things about this virus is we all feel it. We all suffer the same. And that is the absolute truth about us. We are all understanding now what suffering is like, the same. And we needed this unity. We really did. So I would say that you don't have to be evolved or think of this as a spiritual soul thing. You just have to be like, I'm suffering. I need to stop it. And I need to feel better. I need to go out and look at nature, take a walk and breathe and know that this too shall pass. I know that my mother always said, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
My Jewish mom,
There you go. So the first thing is just to identify it and realize that it's there. I've been calling it, when you talk about pain, I've been calling it the pain-demic now instead of the
pain-demic.
Yeah, the pain-demic.
I love it. It is so true.
And so, Gucci, what are you doing then to kind of just make yourself feel better and get through this with your loved ones?
Yeah, I'm seeking the positive from it all. I mean, that's all you can. It's just really the active choice to feel better and to choose to think about something other than what's making you feel hurt. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that I pay rent to live at my house. And before this pandemic, I spent all my time at work. So now I'm spending all my time at home, redoing my balconies, investing in plants. So I'm there with the nature. And then appreciation. I used to hate the term that things could be worse because I'm like, but what about me and what I'm going through right now? But when you really look at it, it could have been worse. They could have shut the school down completely and we would have had to finish our credits next year. Yeah. Or the teachers could have just not made it as easy for us to transition. So I'm just thankful that we're here now and it's day 72 for me in quarantine and I love it. I'm saving a little bit of saving and spending.
Positive.
Yeah.
That's a positive. Saving instead of spending. That is a positive.
Well, you brought up a good point though about like, how have you changed from this virus? You see, that's the question. What has changed? Right. Because it deepens you and then you find out what really matters, right?
Exactly.
And when the superficiality kind of goes, right? It's a really good thing to happen.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. Way. I mean, I think there are many positives that, and Gucci touched on, being at home, appreciating your home, appreciating the people that you, that share your home. And just understanding that, my wife calls it the attitude of gratitude, that things, of course, for you personally could be much worse. And so you have to, relish in the things that are good around you.
Sure. Hey, I wanted to know, Gucci, what are you going to do after you graduate?
Well, I'm interning now in PR, so I'm still doing that. And my ultimate goal is public speaking. So this is a great start here.
There you go.
And Brothers on Law.
On the radio.
Yes.
10 million listeners.
Yes. I love it.
So Audrey, any other pearls that you can tell us about? You've imparted so much good information and positive thoughts.
Well, as a spiritual person on this journey for a long time, we all knew something was coming. The world couldn't stay the way that it was. I mean, it's too much. It's an alchemy. It's called alchemy. You change from base metal into gold, humanness into divinity. That's what they call a change. And when people come to Seasons Rehab, they change. You have to make a change, and the world needs to make a change.
So tell us. I'm sorry, but you mentioned Seasons Rehab a couple of times. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that program.
Well, I work there, and I also have my own private practice. But it's about going on journeys with people, and the pain is and the drugs and the trauma and the abuse and all that is the doorway in to transformation. And that's the way you need to look at it. You need to have a new perspective, right? Something breaks you to let the light in. And so this virus is breaking us. And the break needs to happen. with the environment, the climate, the way people treat each other. This is like it's too much, and it broke. And this, on a spiritual level, is a prophecy. And there's always, been people who talked about the golden age. And there's a lineup in the sky. We are in it. And we are in a great change. And this is a great opportunity to make that change as people, to care. Like the man you had on, he's so beautiful, to care. We need to care. We don't need to be on the right. Eloquent. We don't need to be left. We need to be in the center. We need to care. So when people come in and they're in pain, oh my God, the journey is just incredible. You could change very quickly too, if it's a really deep change.
We're Larry and Rob Mandel, the brothers-in-law, here on Go Country 105. Do you have a legal issue you need help with? We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and send us a message. Then tune in on Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Go Country 105.
From all of us on the Brothers-in-Law Show, we want to give a big thank you to these sponsors who we've partnered with to help honor our local heroes and groups for going above and beyond for their community. We'd like to thank Ralph's, Whole Foods, Target, and Chipotle. Thank you for all you do in our community.
But if somebody needs, someone like yourself to counsel them through, to get them through this moment, because, not everyone is treating everyone else better right now. We've seen that in the news lately. So that I think there are a lot of good people stepping up and treating each other better, but there's still a lot of, bad things going on, and people who are not getting the message that you'd like them to get. So how does somebody take advantage of a rehab program or some kind of counseling program to get the perspective that? Well,
you guys do law and you work with, you're probably therapists.
Sure.
In our own way, yes, of course.
People come in and you hear the problems, and it's bad sometimes.
Yes.
But it's the beginning of a change, right?
Yeah, and we want to affect that change.
Yes. And they break up, maybe you do, divorce, and it seems like it's the worst thing in the world, but it's just the universe giving you the Mack truck. This has to stop because this is no longer good for you. And that's what happens with people. We get a little nudge and we don't listen. And to your point, no, not everybody's going to get it. And we don't need everybody to get it. Everybody's free to do what they want. But enough people will get it. Wasn't it one of the great people said just a small bunch needs to get it? And, the frequency of that, Tesla said everything's frequency. And so the frequency of that kind of thing will change. And so I think the answer is also perspective. We need really, really good perspective about why things happen. They happen for our highest good. They really do. If you look at your bad things in your life and you wait, you see that it changes. It brings you a gift.
Right.
Well stated. Excellent. Great positive attitude. So how do we listeners? That's what I was just going to ask, Rob. How do listeners get a hold of you?
Hey, by the way, I do want to say that I am blessed to have this brother because he's almost too positive. He's like Pollyanna. Kind of drives me crazy sometimes. But it's better to have that than the other thing. That's for sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's good for your cells.
That's right. As you've provided to us. Thank you.
Oh, you said how could they reach me? AudreyHope.com is good.
And you spell that AudreyHope.com. Yeah.
There's hope with hope.
That's right.
That's right.
And Gucci, so what your major was in communications or PR? What was it in?
Communication studies, yes. I got my bachelor's at California State University, Northridge.
I did the same thing in the same subject, communications.
Yeah. Don't you love it?
Yeah, at Cal State Northridge.
What?
Except quite a few years apart.
Yeah, like more than you want to know.
That's awesome.
All
Rob,
right.
ladies, it's time to wrap it up and say our goodbyes.
It was so much
So
fun.
sorry, because I could do this all day with the two of you. This is so
that was
awesome.
great.
But anyway, if you guys out there have missed any part of the show and you want to or hear our previous shows, you can just tune into us on YouTube or brothersonlaw.com and or even iTunes or Podbean. And if you have a legal question or you want to run a show topic by us, or nominate someone in the community like Jeff did, Asa'ua, just call us and leave us a message at 800-310-7113.
Yeah, and a big thank you to our listeners and Audrey and Gucci, and all of you. Stay safe out there. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Go Country 105. And remember,
let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
The opinions expressed in the Brothers on Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.